Hey guys, Michael again with Bronco Logic, and today we're going to decipher between fact or fiction when it comes to the new Bronco, and everything you need to know that's actually fact.
That's a good spot for the night.
So, glad you stay tuned. Here's what we know. First, just in case you're not a Bronco fan, let's go back to the very beginning. First, back in 2015, Ford renewed their trademark for the name Bronco, indicating they had some workings going on. Something was going on in the building to make them say, probably need to go back and check that out, just in case anyone else tries to take that name, because trademarks do expire after a while, and Ford renewed theirs. Second, in 2016, first little indication, a United Auto Workers chairman actually let slip that Ford and them reached a deal to have employees remanufacture the Bronco. So then that prompted Ford in 2017 to go ahead and come out at the Detroit Auto Show and say, yes, in fact, we will be bringing back the Ford Bronco. That catches us up to pretty much now. So I've been looking around on YouTube, reading comments, reading articles, and just finding just general BS, just for lack of a better term, everywhere about what's fake, what's real, what's it gonna have, what it won't have, what it should have, and let's just decipher the facts at this point. This will be a fact-finding video. Number one, we do know what's coming back. That's pretty much standard, obvious. We do know the model year should be 2020. It may be produced in 2021. We also know that it's going to be produced in Michigan alongside the Ranger. It's going to be a body-on-frame design, much like the Ranger it's going to share its components with. And while we know the Ranger is going to share components with the Ford Everest, which is a global vehicle, Raj Nair, Ford's old president of North America, has stated it will be a totally unique vehicle, completely unto itself. So, there's so much speculation about what it's going to look like. Is it going to look like this? How about this? This one? This one? The truth is, no one knows what it looks like. All of these are just speculation. And we know that's probably what Ford wants to do. They're hyping this thing like nobody's business. Here's another fact that we know. We know that Dana has stated they're going to supply the Ford Ranger and the Bronco with its axles. Much like the Jeep Wranglers, they're actually going to manufacture their Advantech gear technology, and that's going to be implemented in the Ford Ranger and the Ford Bronco. What we don't know yet is if that's going to be a solid axle or an independent. Actually, Dana manufactures that technology for both axles. We know that Ford is going to offer a hybrid model. And we know that because they've stated recently that all of their upcoming SUVs and trucks are going to have a hybrid technology, and they're going to offer some sort of hybrid model in every one of their vehicles. So that's a given that the Bronco is going to have some sort of EcoBoost, smaller engine that gets incredible fuel mileage. We also know that it's more than likely going to have an aluminum construction, much like the newer F-150 and now the 2017 and up Super Duties. So those two are kind of given based on Ford's trajectory of where they're going with their plans and how they're wanting to implement those in the new vehicles in the future. So we're going back to myth versus fact. We don't know it's going to have a removable roof. We don't know if it's going to be a solid axle. We don't know if they're going to offer two-door or a four-door version. We can speculate that they're probably going to offer a four-door just because we know for a fact they're going to be competing with the Jeep Wrangler. They did just finally release a little teaser pic, which showed high quarters, rounded fender wells, an abrupt front end, very bull nose, very flat nose, with a spare tire. What looks to be a spare tire. But that's it. They did that on purpose, obviously, because now you're here following this channel trying to decipher what's myth, what's fact. It's been reported by The Truth About Cars, a blog, that it's going to have an air roof very similar to the Jeep Wrangler or a Renegade, which actually takes panels off individually and then sets them to the side. So the roof may not completely come off, but these panels are coming off, and that's according to the Truth About Cars, which states they have an inside source. But again, we don't know that to be true because it hasn't been released by Ford. And this video is about 100% truth released by Ford, because everything else is speculation. An interesting statement made by Raj Nair, North American president for Ford, has stated that it will be a no-compromise mid-size 4x4 utility for adventure seekers who want to go way beyond the city. So think about that just for a second, about what I just said. Rewind if you need to. Ford has been very deliberate and very specific, yet nebulous at the same time, about what they're stating and revealing about the new Bronco, including the picture that was just released, and with that statement, a no-compromising mid-size 4x4 utility for adventure seekers that want to go beyond, way beyond the city. Let's break that down and interpret exactly what they're trying to say. So, if we expect the Ford Bronco to be this off-road machine like it used to be, and a competitor to the Jeep Wrangler, which we know has an off-road heritage, then we have to assume no compromises means just that, based on the Bronco's heritage. But if you are a soccer mom, then no compromises to you could be you want it to have the look but still drive well and have all the creature comforts that you're used to. So no compromises could mean it should ride well, it should have Bluetooth technology and Wi-Fi and Apple CarPlay and the Ford Sync and all this. That could be a no compromise to that specific buyer. But what about the off-road enthusiasts? What's the no compromises for us? Again, that's where Ford did not delineate between one or the other. It's left up for interpretation. Very, very deliberate. Secondly, let's break it down the other part of it. Mid-size 4x4 utility. That's pretty self-explanatory. I don't think we have to really go into that. Now, the last part of the statement is what I find most interesting, and that's for adventure seekers who want to go way beyond the city. What sticks out to me in that statement is the way beyond. Adventure seekers, sure, you can find adventure seekers in the F-150. That's not really something that makes the light bulb go off. I don't see that. It's the way beyond the city. Let's think about that for a second. They could have just stated, Ford could have just said, for adventure seekers who want to go beyond the city. Beyond the city could mean a little small country dirt roads. It's probably generally smooth, may have a pothole. You may have to dodge a tree limb. It's in the country. Way beyond the city indicates to me something a little bit more aggressive, something a little bit more deliberate, something a little bit more badass. That's what I'm thinking. So that wraps it up. Myth versus fact. This is 100% what we know. Stay tuned to the channel and I'll keep you up to date with the latest information from Ford and all things Bronco. Right here, baby. Right here. See ya. Hey guys, Michael again. That sucked. Hey guys, Michael.